According to research, lies occur all the time and almost everywhere in our day-to-day experience, as well as in courtroom testimony and police interrogation. Researchers Paul Ekman and Maureen O'Sullivan say there are two categories of lies based on their research. Low-stake lies, the kind where the liar suffers no more than embarrassment if they're caught, and high-stake lies, where the consequences can be enormous for both the liar and the liar's target. Example of some of these high-stake lies can range from those between political heads of state to other lies involving media role models, espionage in the business arena, and other various lies that perpetrate serious crimes. Most lies, however, ultimately fail, and for a number of reasons. The lies may be exposed by facts that contradict the lie, or by a third party who betrays the liar's confidence. Sometimes that kind of outside information isn't available or is vague. The lie then fails or succeeds based solely on the liar's behavior, which in the legal profession is known as demeanor. Two different kinds of errors can result when truthfulness based on demeanor is judged. In a false negative, a liar is incorrectly judged to be truthful. In a false positive, a truthful person is incorrectly judged to be lying. In high-stakes lies, either type of error can have serious consequences, and when dealing with these kinds of situations, it's critical for the jurist, clinician, counterintelligence agent, or businessman to understand and know how much they can rely on such judgments based on demeanor about whether or not someone is telling the truth. Well, according to research, not much, says O'Sullivan and Ekman. According to every study ever reported up until 1991, people, the layman or expert, have not been reliably accurate in judging whether someone is lying. Turns out customs officials are no better than college students in detecting deceit. After O'Sullivan and Ekman tested a number of groups, including those who specialize in lie detection, they set out to test their hypothesis that those who make accurate judgments, regardless of their occupation, would describe different behavioral clues than those who made inaccurate judgments, including eliminating individual differences in one's ability to detect lies by chance. Well, the results showed there was a significant difference among those who were accurate at detecting deceit. They used different skills than those who were inaccurate. This research suggests that there are in fact behavioral clues to deceit across situations. The question is, what are those clues and how can they be accurately read?
Darklestani, and you were inside court for this extraordinary marathon of lies caught on tape. Describe the mood as we see this interrogation tape. What's the reaction? Tell us.
We were all hanging on the edge of our seats watching this, Jane, because we see July 15th is the first day. She gets taken into the interrogation room. She is lying. She's saying, I have never been there. I have nothing to do with this. I never went to Arizona. I was never at Travis's house. And then we cut to day 2. The next day, she comes back. She's wearing an orange jumpsuit. Because remember, day 1, she's saying she wasn't there. She gets arrested. She gets put in jail. Day 2, she's back in the interrogation room. And what does she say? Oh, yeah, actually, I was there. I got there at 3 a.m. in the morning, so his roommates wouldn't see me. He didn't like other people to see me when I came to his house. And we see this girl change her story, lie after lie after lie. And then at one point, the investigator leaves the interrogation room, and you're just sitting there. And there is a good minute or two where the entire courtroom is just watching her sit in a room all by herself. So you're thinking, what is she going to do? She doesn't think anyone's watching her. She's just sitting there stretching, doing yoga poses in the middle of an office, in the sheriff's office. So as if that was the most compelling moment was when she was alone in that interrogation room, because the entire courtroom, including the jury, was looking to see, what is this girl going to do next? I saw the jurors. They were all taking notes. Like as she was giving her lies and she was changing her story, they were taking notes. One juror had filled his notebook completely. He went to a second notebook. He started writing. So the jurors are very, very into this. They're watching all this video.
And Celine, I'm watching this stretch. And I'm like, I have never seen anything like this before in all my years of covering cases, that somebody is left in a room by interrogators after being grilled and she does this? It's just truly bizarre. It's extraordinary. If you put it in a movie, people would say, oh, that's absurd. Write it out. Nobody would ever do such a thing. Really extraordinary. Here's, now, as Celine mentioned, day one, she's being grilled. No, I wasn't there. Day two, they arrest her. She's in Jailhouse Orange, and she offers her second version of events as she's being grilled. Another elaborate lie where she claims Travis was killed by two ninja intruders, all dressed in black, in masks, a man and a woman. Check this out.
I ran, and he stopped me, but
He stopped you?
and Travis, he was still like conscious and still alive, and
You just left him there.
no, I ran into the closet because there's two doors, and they were sort of in the hallway already, and he stopped me, and he didn't touch me. He was just held the gun to my head, and he was like, "You don't go anywhere," and he told the other girl to finish it.
Now, by her own admission today, that is a complete and utter fabrication. There were no ninjas. Let's bring in the attorneys and John Lieberman, investigative reporter and host Searching for Justice on AOL. I'm going to start with you, John. This is one of the most extraordinary cases I've ever seen come down the pike. Not just the overwhelming forensics, but this marathon of lies is the best way I can describe it. And the jury watching this, it almost seems like it was a crime to take this to trial, that something should have been done because it is the most open and shut case we have ever seen.
Well, it is. In my mind, it is. I mean, the lies are infuriating. The tears are infuriating. Luckily, this detective played it so right. And when he said that he was the one speaking for Travis, that is just so right. And he unraveled Jody. He allowed Jody actually to unravel herself. Jody said things today like, I've had plenty of boyfriends and they're all still alive. I mean, who says that? She says at one point to the detective, tell me how I'm acting guilty. She makes it up as she goes along, and it's absolutely infuriating. And then the Verizon phone tech was on the stand today, and he testified essentially that it appears that after Jody killed Travis, she hacked into his voicemail to check his voicemail.
How to detect a lie. Are you getting the whole truth and nothing but? The answer may be lying right in front of you. You will need a good ear, good eyes, and a healthy skepticism. Step 1. Watch the suspected liar's hands. Body language studies show that people tend to touch their face and scratch their nose when they lie. Step 2. Follow their eyes. Liars tend to blink a lot and don't maintain eye contact. Step 3. Note their words. A liar will often skip contractions, saying I did not instead of I didn't, and avoid pronouns, using someone's full name instead of he or she. Step 4. Check their smile. People who are telling the truth use many facial muscles, but liars smile with just their mouth. Step 5. Notice their posture. Liars tend to keep their body posture closed by folding their arms, for example. They may also unconsciously put an object between you, like a cup of coffee. Step 6. Pause momentarily before responding. If the silence makes them uncomfortable, they may be lying. Step 7. Pay attention to details. If they provide more information than necessary, that's a bad sign. People tend to be overly specific when they're making something up. Step 8. Change the subject. If they seem relieved, that's probably a red flag that they've been lying straight to your face. Step 9. What you do from here is up to you. It may be smart to file your knowledge away for future use. However, if you're noticing a trend, it might just be time to teach your liar a lesson. Did you know? In a recent poll, 91% of Americans reported lying on a regular basis.
Bill Gates and Charlie Rose are both celebrities in different respects. It is this celebrity status that allows them to overcome certain distractions while they speak. By observing their challenges, we develop opportunities for improvement.
What is your belief and your goal? What do you believe is possible for Microsoft to do in search?
Conversationalizing is moving your hands or your head in the rhythm of your speech. Notice how Charlie Rose moves his hand and head on key words. Believe, possible, Microsoft, to do, search. Whereas the voice can place emphasis on many words, the body cannot do the same, or it becomes a distraction. Let's play it in real time.
What do you believe is possible for Microsoft to do in search? What do you believe is possible for Microsoft to do in search?
Conversationalizing is also apparent in the movements that Bill Gates uses as he tries to emphasize key points.
Other browsing type behavior in ways that could work well for everyone.
At times, gestures may even move on every syllable. Other browsing behavior in ways could work well for everyone. Let's play it in real time.
Other browsing type behavior in ways that could work well for everyone.
Although the repetitive movements of conversationalizing can be distracting, gestures can be used effectively to explain concepts or relationships. Virtual space is used by the body to link referenced items in the voice. The challenge is to use different virtual space to identify different concepts.
Their advantage in software, their advantage in time, and how they've used their resources. Their advantage
the
in
hand
software,
tries
their
to
advantage
establish
in time,
emphasis
and how
in
they've
space.
used their resources.
Charlie Rose is using the same virtual space for 3 different words: software, time, resources. Once virtual space is used to establish a particular reference, software, the same space cannot be used to establish additional references. Resources. Even Bill Gates makes multiple references using one virtual space.
It does require incredible scale, dedication, long-term, because the technology is very, very deep. Incredible scale, dedication, long-term, because the technology is very, very deep.
However, when a different reference occupies a different virtual space, the communication is easier. Here, Bill Gates describes different periods of time using different virtual space for each period.
Well, I think search today, compared to what it can be, is absolutely terrible. Compared to what it was, say, 2 or 3 years ago, it's fantastic.
Notice how he identifies today, what can be,
is absolutely terrible.
and what was.
2 or 3 years ago, it's fantastic.
And although Bill Gates takes advantage of virtual space by separating items in the air, he inadvertently stumbles upon yet another challenge. It has to do with timelines.
Well, I think search today, compared to what it can be, is absolutely terrible. Compared to what it was, say, 2 or 3 years
Using
ago,
a personal
it's fantastic.
timeline,
Well, I
he
think
establishes
search
the
today,
present,
compared to what it
but
can
his
be,
right
is
hand shows the
absolutely
future,
terrible.
his left
Compared to
hand,
what it
the
was,
past.
say, 2 or 3 years ago, it's fantastic.
Because the audience sees a similar timeline, past, present, future, moving left to right, they expect the right hand of the presenter to signify the past and the left hand to signify the future. But he uses his own personal timeline in contrast to what the audience expects.
Well, I think search today, compared to what it can be, is absolutely terrible. Compared to what it was, say, 2 or 3 years ago, it's fantastic.
And while the celebrity status of Bill Gates and Charlie Rose will have us concentrating more on what they say rather than on how they say it, we can still learn a lot from the actions they use to deliver their content.
You told me everything I wish I never knew. Now I can't get past the truth. Now I just wish I could go back to loving you. Can't get back to loving you. There's a right side and a wrong side whenever any love goes wrong. But you can't lie, so I can't hide. Maybe happiness is blind. I'm not calling you a liar, I just wish you were. I'm not calling you a liar. They say what you don't know, it can never hurt. I'm not calling you a liar. You gave me chills, not scars. Left me with nothing to hate. Just a perfect bitter taste. Wish I was still in the dark, but now I'm burning by the way. Had to watch you walk away. There's a right side and a wrong side whenever any love goes wrong. But you can't lie, so I can't hide.